Live with Bob Hansen, Tom Luchak, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. This is Buffalo After Dark.
Hey everybody, welcome to Buffalo After Dark. It is actually a different night this week, Thursday, December 16th. Happy birthday to my sister. I don't think she's watching, but still want to say it anyways. But hey, we missed you yesterday. Of course, we've got Sean and Bob here. How's it going, guys?
I'm good. I'm just tired. I mean, I'm on kind of a vacation break, if you want to call it that way. For me, I'm just trying to kill off time before the end of the year. So that's where I'm at right now. But other than that, life's good.
Cool. Yeah, they'll be next week. They'll actually be the last week of the year for me. I'm taking off. So looking forward to it. Sean, it's been a little bit since we've had you. How's everything going down in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah, it has been a while. The usual, just long work hours during the holidays, during Christmas season and whatnot. But it's all good. I'm here and I'm ready to go.
Nice. Yeah, as I say, like, how many freaking packages have you been dealing with at Amazon in the warehouse?
Oh, geez, Louise. So far in the freaking 200K.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's up there. But no, glad to see you back, man. It's been a while, and we've got some Seattle Kraken stuff to talk about today too, since you're here. So, of course, if you guys want to jump on, you know the deal. 929-205-6099 gets you on the air from anywhere, or you can actually go right into our Facebook chat. You can click on the join our Zoom meeting, and you can actually show your pretty face here with all of us. So, and of course, we don't bite. I mean, we may roast you a bit, but we don't bite. So, and then first and foremost to the guys down in the South, I know this is actually closer to you, Sean, but the people that got impacted by that tornado and everything, thoughts and prayers with everybody that got affected. And I know it, I mean, they say it's like the longest one ever on record at like over 250 miles or something insane, but it did a lot of damage, and, we're thinking of everything.
Yeah. And Kentucky got hit the worst. I mean, honestly, that kind of impacted me because I went to school back in Kentucky years ago, and I got a friend that's still up there. And one of the pictures and videos I saw after the tornado, man, holy crap! Like I really hope everyone's okay up there.
Yeah. That what happened in Kentucky over the week was just tragic, and I really do hope that they recover quickly. And I know it's a big tragedy that went on with the tornado, and I know it hit like certain parts of like the Midwest. Was it like Kentucky, Tennessee? I think. What other state did it hit?
Illinois got hit pretty bad too. It actually had destroyed like part of an Amazon warehouse outside of like the St. Louis area.
Oh wow!
I remember seeing part of that where it like literally annihilated at least a third of it, and unfortunately. And then I want to say I think it was Kentucky, Tennessee. I know Arkansas got hit really bad with a nursing home being damaged. And then I want to say like parts of Mississippi. So, I mean, it was just a bad setup for something like that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the American Red Cross Association will be involved, and they're going to be delivering food and delivering goods for people that were, struck by this tornado. And again, I hope that, they recover well and they have a speedy recovery. And I'm sending out my prayers to those families that were affected by it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
But we just wanted to give that shout out to everybody. We hope everyone's as good as they can be, and just one of those things. Don't ever give up and keep rebuilding. You'll all be back in no time. So that being said, let's get on to some actual good news. The Sabres finally have a win.
Finally, it took like a goddamn eternity.
Yeah, so they ended up getting the win against Winnipeg. It was a 4-2 win. UPL is looking good. I mean, as much as there's been times where he has no defense helping him, he's looking really good in the crease.
Yeah, I mean, UPL, he's looking really good so far. I know he's been out for like 5 games, but the question is now becoming, do they keep him up for the rest of the year, or do they send him up in Rochester? Because, the Sabres have 6 goalies on the roster. Craig Anderson is month to month with an upper body injury. Malcolm Subban is on the team again. He's coming back from his injury. Aaron Dell sucks ass. We all know that's Annie's favorite player.
We remember
the
meltdown last season.
and Tukarski is in COVID protocol. So the Sabres have like musical chairs going for the Sabres. And bringing up UPL, I think, bringing up UPL would have been a really genuine idea. But I feel like he's been in the system now for like almost 5 years. I feel like next year, not this year, next year, where I think he would get the full-time job, in my personal opinion. That's probably why they signed Anderson and Dell to a 1-year contract.
Yeah, and I mean, and even going back to before we even started Horns and Hooves Entertainment almost 2 years ago, I mean, even when we used to have the old NHL Fans 365 page and our old Blue and Gold Mafia page, I mean, I remember when there was actually a couple times I went live from the Harbor Center when they had the rookie combines and everything going on. And one of the things I noticed with UPL very early on is he was making saves that, I mean, to me, were very reminiscent of Dominic Hasek or Pekka Rinne in his prime. I mean, it was very similar to that. It also kind of reminded me of Ryan Miller with the way that he controlled the crease also. And kind of like, hey, we have like a goalie that has like a good mix of like multiple playing styles, which is pretty sweet. But the way that he was able to dominate the crease, especially back at that time, against some of the other rookie teams, like I remember we played New Jersey, Pittsburgh was up here when they did the rookie games, and I mean, he played great. He really showed a lot of good potential. And I think now we're starting to see that. So I would say for this year, I mean, sure, get him some playing time, and they're doing that, which is good. The only concern I have, though, is if we keep him up here the rest of the season, I don't want him to be losing a whole ton of games at this point. Give him the good experience, but let him also play in Rochester so he can actually get some wins under his belt also. And then look at it next year. I mean, I think he's going to be ready. I
think so too.
I think he's ready. And
I think so too.
Don't want him to rush it right now, but I think next season is the number one job.
I think so too. It really just comes down to who they bring in and who they trade for. That's, to me, going to be the big factor, because I don't want the Sabres to get into the habit of saying, oh, we have a potential starter in the league, and then you trade for somebody who is going to take over the job. Because I know the Florida Panthers just made this mistake with Spencer Knight, and he was struggling for a little while. He's like 6'4" and something, and his save percentage is not that great. And they put him back up into, I think it was not Springfield. I'm thinking of no, that's Bakersfield. Yeah, it might be Springfield, with the Springfield Falcons in the AHL. That's where I think he went. Or he played for the U.S. Olympic team. I really don't know. But Florida has Bobrovsky on the team. They had Spencer Knight, who I just said, got sent back to the AHL. And then they have another guy in there. I forget his name. But the Panthers are in the same dilemma with the Sabres, because they don't want to rush Spencer Knight because he was a first-round pick, and they don't want to take the gamble of destroying his career before he even lives up to his fullest potential. And the kid's like, what, 21, 22?
Yeah, he's still a young guy. And then we also have to look at who we've got in the system. I mean, Devin Levi, he's another one that has a ton of potential. And, I mean, same thing. I wouldn't want to rush him either. But, I mean, he's been having a good season, especially when he's been playing with the Northeastern Huskies. And, I mean, he's gotten some looks here and there. So, I mean, he's another one. Same thing. Don't rush him. But at the same time, give him some playing time if we have the opportunity to give him some playing time. And I see our friend Danny DeVito, Andy, actually joined us.
Hey, Andy. He's back.
Yo, what's going on?
Good. Why do you
Not
sound
much,
drunk?
man.
Why do you sound drunk?
I don't know. Wish I was, though.
No, I'll tell you, Maker's Mark was last Saturday. I had enough of that stuff. And it was damn good, too. So Andy, I know you've been wanting to talk Sabres hockey for a bit. And of course, you're going with the Ukko-Pekka again. But tell us some of your thoughts about what you've seen with UPL last couple games he's been up. And I mean, and of course we had a good win against Winnipeg the other night.
No, he's been solid so far. I'm actually surprised at what I'm seeing. The right score 0-0. He's played well so far. Made some nice saves. boys just got to pull out some more goals to win. It's kind of like, this kid comes up, he starts playing, and he can't score goals up until last game. And it's vice versa when Dell was in. So I didn't get that part, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the kid, especially last game. He made some phenomenal moves.
Yeah, he did. And actually one of the things that I really wanted to look at a little bit was the third period when we ended up playing Winnipeg. And I mean, that goal that Skinner had to basically make it 4-2. I mean, Winnipeg totally blew coverage on that one because that to me was a soft goal that their goaltender let in.
Yeah, I mean, they may have found their rhythm on goaltending, I think. So, I mean, that's definitely a start.
Hellebuck's been shaky all year. I haven't been too great on his play, so I'm actually kind of intrigued how he's going to play in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Connor Hellebuck, but I don't know. I agree with Andy. I think he's just been kind of iffy. I mean, I know he's had a couple of great years. Don't get me wrong, Connor Hellebuck alone is a great goalie, but he's having one of those down years. And I don't want to necessarily say it's the reason why the Jets are struggling. It's just, the Jets themselves, they have a good team on paper, but it's not enough to say, hey, we're a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I mean, yeah, they have a team on paper, but it's like, do the pieces really fit? I think is one way to look at it. And I think there's been some meshing issues over there. And I mean, they've got to fix their defense. I mean, they do have to do a better job offensively as well, just like the Sabres need to fix their defense and do a better job offensively also. But I mean, it was a good win though. I mean, it's definitely a win that we needed. And I mean, it's good to see them, especially in that specific game with Tage Thompson actually had a really nice third period, and he's actually starting to throw his body around more, which I like. But the other thing I've also noticed is I think we finally found a grit player with Dylan Cousins, because if we look back at that game with the Rangers, remember when Dylan Cousins at the end, when it hit 0-0 and he just dropped the gloves and just started beating the shit out of everybody?
Yeah, I mean, that was just insane. Even Rangers fans that I personally know, I mean, I know we're kind of going backwards here a little bit, but like, everybody was going nuts about the offside calls last week, where it should have been going to Olofsson, and then yet the refs or the officiating the next day are like, "Oh, we screwed up on that." I'm like, is that supposed to make me feel better, or anybody who watched it?
Oh, yeah.
Even Rangers fans were like, "Yeah." Even Rangers fans were like, "Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. That should have been a goal for Buffalo in that standpoint."
Yeah, and I was looking at the play. I'm like, he didn't even touch the puck, so how the hell is he offsides?
Nah, the officiating this year's just been whack.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that, about the Bills in a little bit. But at the same time, I mean, good for Dylan Cousins for standing up for the team. And I like that I'm seeing that a lot out of him, because the thing that when Eichel was here, he was afraid to throw his body around. He didn't want to hit people. I think he only fought somebody once in what, a 6-year plus career. I mean, look at Cousins. He's like not afraid to hit people every single night. And he's not afraid to fight. And he's had a few fights.
Right. And I think that's the one thing I admire is he's like 21 and he's already being a, essential leader. I think he's standing up for what he believes is right. And that's why I admire Dylan Cousins. He's not my favorite player. And I think he's developing into a nice, top center in the league eventually in like 5 years from now. But if you look at what he's doing right now, he's like, what, 20 years old?
Yeah. I don't even think he's 21 yet.
No, and the thing is I love that he sticks up for his team, and I think that that he really gets into the dirty areas, and he really like I said, he really stands up for what he believes of, what he's up against, basically.
Yeah, and that's huge. We haven't had that in a while, and I mean,
you sons of bitches.
What is it? 1-0?
Yeah, they just banked one in from the point.
Yeah.
Damn. So
well, there's your live update.
Which sucks. Thanks, Andy.
Sabres are down 1-0.
I just happened to look across and I see him fired from the point. I look back, yep, it's in. And UPL had a piece of it, so he should have made that save.
Right. Yeah. Right. There's actually been some really interesting news that's come out from across the league this year in the NHL, respectively. And one of those players is Tish Ginla, who's only 15 years old, got drafted in the ninth overall in the first round by the Seattle Thunderbirds on December 9th. So that was a week ago almost. So, yeah, so Jerome McGinley's kid is a projected top 10 prospect in the 2024 NHL draft.
Well, if he's anything like his old man, he's going to be a good player.
Hell yeah. I mean, Jerome McGinley is one of my favorite players in the league. And I think he's one of the only black captains in the history of the league as well. And he's a ballot Hall of Famer without question. Anybody who grew up watching Jerome McGinley would tell you instantaneously of how special of a player he was. He never won a cup, but I definitely respected him for what he was when he was with the Calgary Flames. The only thing I didn't like about him was the fact that later in his career, and I know it wasn't his decision when he got traded to Pittsburgh. I think when he went to Pittsburgh, I think that was supposed to be the move. They got the Penguins the cup in 2013, but it just never panned out. And then afterwards, he just kind of just jumped on the bandwagon and basically went from one team to the next. He went to teams like Boston, who he had a great career with for like 1 year, 2 years. Then he went to friggin' Colorado, which didn't work out there. And then he went to LA, where he ended up retiring. And the Kings weren't that great either at that point. So there was like, Jerome McGinley was always going to be a phenomenal player growing up, but I'm hoping his kid could actually do something when he gets drafted.
Yeah, same here. And I remember, like, and Bobby, you would this is actually something you can appreciate. Here in the Buffalo area, we actually do get one of the Canadian channels, and we do get to see Hockey Night in Canada. Usually, it's something that they normally have done on Saturday nights. And I know CBC doesn't do it as much now because, of course, they want you to watch Rogers Sportsnet across the border. But back when they always had it on consistently every Saturday night, I mean, it was awesome to be able to see they always had a game out in the East, which was your first game of the night, and then they had a game in the West, your second game of the night. And when Jerome McGinley was playing on the Flames, I mean, being able to watch him play teams against Vancouver, against the old Winnipeg Jets at the time, against, of course, Edmonton. I mean, there were some pretty big battles in there, and that was just a lot of fun to watch. And same thing, it would have been nice to see him get a cup, but I mean, I respect the hell out of him for everything he's contributed to the sport. And plus, he wasn't afraid to drop the gloves every now and then either.
Oh, yeah. I think one thing I remember about Jerome McGinley was his fight in the 2004 Stanley Cup Finals against Vinny LeCavalier. That, to me, that was my favorite thing about Jerome McGinley. And I think he was the leading scorer in the entire playoffs that year before Tampa won the cup.
He had a great run.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's one of my favorite players of all time, Jerome McGinley. Easily.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, can't say enough good things about him there. And then, of course, if you guys want to jump on, feel free. Of course, we've got the chat going, and we also have the live phone calls going on as well. So, of course, you can dial in 929-205-6099. We haven't done this in a while. Sean, how's the Seattle Kraken holding up out there?
Oh, boy. They were winning at the beginning of the month. I mean, yeah, granted, they lost to the Red Wings on the first of this month, but it was a close game. Then they had another close game where they lost, they actually won. They actually won against the Edmonton Oilers on December 3rd.
Great win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. At home as well. But then 3 straight home losses to the Penguins, to the Jets, to the Blue Jackets. Like, what? I'm like, at least win one of those games, people. Come on.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Then we faced the San Jose Sharks. We destroyed them in the third period, 3-1. And then don't know what happened with the Ducks.
Yeah, they lost 4-1 the other night.
Are you kidding me?
The Ducks are good. In their defense, the Ducks are actually pretty good this year.
Yeah, 17-9-5. I mean, and Kraken's not that far back. I mean, 10-16-3 to start out the season. I mean, that's not horrible.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, but I definitely think, though, that the way Seattle's playing, I definitely think they could be if they're able to get past Edmonton. I know it's December and we're nowhere near the All-Star break yet, but I think if they could just squeeze past, Chicago, Vancouver's pretty hot right now since they hired Bruce Boudreau. So I think with them, it's getting to a point where the Kraken are going to have to fight for some points against some of these top teams that are fighting to get into the playoffs. And it's even getting to the point now that across the media, people were like, "Oh, are the Canucks for real this time?" I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Vancouver's not even in the playoff spot right now. There's no way in hell that Vancouver is anywhere near where they are right now. I mean, I know they got a new coach with Bruce Boudreau, who's great, by the way, and the Canucks are on a 5-game win streak. I get it, but they're not anywhere near what people are saying about them right now.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely not. And speaking of Edmonton, we face them again at home this Saturday, so that should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, they shut down McJesus the last time, so I mean, if they can shut him down one time, they can shut him down again.
Yeah, you never know.
Hey,
Yeah,
You never know.
and here's another fun stat to look at, Sean. So I know the 10-16 record. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a tough start, but I will give you this: the Kraken are already doing way better than the 1992-93 Ottawa Senators. Take a guess at how many games they won that year.
please tell them the whole record. By the way,
Oh gosh, like what? Freaking 7-60 something or whatever. However many games they play.
All right,
That's
so
fine.
yeah, here's the record: Ottawa in 1992-93, 10 wins, 70 losses, and 4 ties.
Oh gosh. What?
The worst expansion record ever.
Oh man.
That's worse than the 74-75 Washington.
Well, actually, wait. There is one that's worse than that. And Bobby, you just mentioned it, the 74-75 Capitals, which they only won 8 games that year, so they were 8-67-5.
Oh
A
jeez.
long year.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
They only had 21 points all year.
My
Which
gosh.
which alone is embarrassing itself. I mean, holy fuck.
Yeah. But then I just actually pulled it up on Sportsnet just looking at that, and they said, okay, fun fact, you may have heard the great story about the events after that single road win involving a garbage can, a marker, and a little locker room parade. So they said Sportsnet has, quote, Tommy Williams had gotten this little trash can out of the dressing room and he had a bunch of guys sign it, unquote, which is what former Capitals defenseman Ivan Labra ended up
Christ,
saying.
Darlene, you're doing it again, Darlene, you fuck. Sorry.
No, you're good. And apparently, what happened is that them and a couple other guys decided to bring it out into the rink, and they skated around with the garbage can, calling it the Stanley can.
Yep. And I also just got an update that it's 2-0 Islanders in
God.
what is it, 2-0?
No, they're on the fucking power play and they just keep missing by like a fucking inch or a rebound. They're not getting to. It's right on the doorstep. Melvin is playing on it. Ted's playing on his head right now.
Right. And I just found that it's 2-0 Islanders over the Bruins at 18:05 in the second period.
Wow, the Islanders are finally starting to win a little bit now.
Yeah, but they're still ass. So it doesn't really faze me. I mean, I'm a fan of both the Islanders and the Sabres, and I live here, but it's like, holy fuck. The Islanders have no life right now. It's horrendous.
Yeah, what's up with
COVID
this?
killed half
This is crazy.
Believe me, it's fucking
It's
hell.
supposed
over
to be
here.
really good. What's going on this year?
I don't know. It's been a weird year. I mean, I don't want to hear excuses from the Islanders. They're way too old at this point, and they need to get younger. That's my thing about them. And Barry Trotz and Lou Lamoriello just love banging in on those guys. The New York Rangers are fucking good, and that pisses me off in general.
Right. A lot of people are saying Zdeno Chara should have hung it up 5 years ago.
Yeah, because Char's like a fossil. He's a dinosaur.
Pylon. He doesn't skate.
He's a dinosaur. He makes Sean look good.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you're actually more, flexible than fucking Chara right now at his age. You're
Whatever you say.
You're like 37. He's 45, and he's 7 feet tall, and he's old as shit.
Oh yeah. Well, Bobby, the funny thing is, next time you see me, I will have hit my 40th birthday about 2 weeks before I come down for your wedding.
Oh, please tell me.
Yeah. So yeah, July 4th. It's National Celebrate My Birthday and Get Drunk Day.
America.
And watch fireworks at the same time.
And FYI, Bob, I'm 34.
I thought you were 36.
Oh. Are you trying to add 10 extra
Get your
years?
shit right.
Trying to add numbers to my age, bro.
Yeah, Sherlock, I am.
Okay. Well, it's kind of funny though. Although actually, a few people that come into my office like during the week, I mean, I'll get like compliments every now and then, and a lot of people are saying it's like they're like, "You're really in your 20s, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm freaking 39." And like, "You don't look it." I'm like, "Okay, well, look real close. You'll see the freaking gray hair on my beard."
Yeah,
Thanks for the
that
compliment.
works.
So
Yeah, that works.
yeah. But, so on the bright side, Sean, the Seattle Kraken has not asked. You actually have 10 wins already, so you're already doing better than pretty much every single other expansion team in the last, 40 years.
Hey, I'll take whatever
There is
good
that
news.
to look forward to.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of interesting news, I would say, about the Quebec City moves. And I don't know if you've been hearing this lately, Tom. And there is a report coming out that the Coyotes are planning to build a brand new arena in Tempe, but that won't be open until for another 4 years, the earliest, which now leads to speculation about Quebec City. And it's being said that Gary Bettman is having a meeting with the government officials in Quebec City in January, and Bettman ruled out the possibility of the Coyotes relocating to Quebec City, but did not rule out the possibility of further expansion.
Well, good. Bring back the Quebec Nordiques. I want to see them get into a big-ass rivalry with the Montreal Canadiens again.
Oh, no. I'm not done there. Oh, no. I'm far from done. I am far from done. And it's also being said that if the Coyotes were to relocate, Kansas City and Houston would be among the options for the league to consider.
Well, they're actually good hockey cities. They're better than Glendale, Arizona. So,
oh, by far. I'm not saying that's the case, but for the Yotes to move to Houston or Kansas City, I think you're better off at Houston. So that way you could rival with the Dallas Stars.
well, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at just those cities, yeah, by far. I mean, that would be the better option, I would think. Plus, I mean, on top of that, I mean, Houston has a hockey-ready arena in the Toyota Center, which I mean, it's one of the older NBA arenas now. It opened about 20 years ago, but I mean, they've kept it up. I mean, I want to say it opened, like around 2000, maybe 2001, something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's similar to most of the other buildings in the league, but I mean, they already have it set up where they have it capable of ice hockey. They don't have to really make any significant changes there. So, and they're going to be renovating that building anyways in the next few years just to give it a facelift. So,
Yep.
yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but I would still love to see Quebec get a team. I really would.
Yep. And I also found out that the Coyotes are gogging in the trade market for defenseman Jacob Chikrin, and the Islanders and the Kraken are interested.
Oh boy.
Another former first-round pick, who I honestly thought the Sabres were going to draft, but instead they passed up on him for Alex fucking Nylander.
What's up for grabs?
Jacob Chikrin from Arizona. The Islanders are linked. The Kraken are linked. So that's the only two teams I know. I've also heard the Devils, but I don't want to be precise because I really don't know if the Devils are in it. But I definitely know for a fact that the Islanders and the Kraken are involved.
I like Jacob Chikrin a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what the price would cost them because they're really gawking up interest for him, and they're looking to trade him.
Probably 2 to 3 pieces, maybe a player prospect pick type of
Maybe.
deal.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, I don't really know.
Pick in there or something. I mean,
Yep. And speaking of trade rumors, there's also been talk of Brock Besser being shipped out of Vancouver to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh no!
wow.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Who would
what I've
Vancouver
heard.
get back?
Oh, believe me, I think they would get a first-round pick. And plus, Jimmy Rutherford just got named the general manager of
Right.
Vancouver. So there's a possibility for a Vancouver-Pittsburgh trade to happen. And it wouldn't shock me one bit if this were to be the case. So what I think is going to happen is Pittsburgh is going to trade for Brock Besser, and the Penguins are going to give up a former first-round pick. I don't know Pittsburgh's, farm system too well because I really don't care about them. I mean, they're a good team, but I don't care about their farm.
I don't follow
I don't
them
know
that much
enough
either.
about them. But one thing I know for certain is they're giving up a prospect. They're giving up a first round pick, another pick, probably second or third, if they're in a conditional pick, I would assume, and maybe another player that's currently on the roster that's around the age of 25. That's my guess what the price would be for Brock Besser to go to the Penguins.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the Penguins are getting old.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I also would suspect other teams are going to be involved, but I firmly believe at this point that the Penguins will get Brock Besser. It's very, very possible.
I would love for him to be in a Sabre uniform.
You know what? That's funny you said that. I've also heard the Sabres are interested because then there's also been talk that the Sabres are entertaining an idea of trading one of the 3 first-round picks going into the draft. And it could end up, and I've heard this rumor too, but I waved it off because I'm like, that's not going to happen, the rumor is I've heard that the Sabres are entertaining of throwing out the Vegas Golden Knights pick to the Coyotes in a trade for Clayton Keller.
That's bad. Clayton's a good kid. He's a good player. Small, but
you don't seem very fond of it. You don't seem very fond of it, Andy.
Right? I mean, he's in Arizona. He hasn't had a chance to explode anywhere.
You're right.
He's a good player. It's just, I don't know. I have to watch him more, I guess. Watch more tape. But, I mean, I'm not going to deny he's not. I mean, he's good. He's a good player.
Right.
Yeah, we're not doubting that. And I've also forgot to mention, because we all already heard by now about the Canadiens firing Mark Bergevin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out the Canadiens are jotting down their list of who could their next general manager be. And this came out on Tuesday because we're recording on a Thursday. We were supposed to do it yesterday on Wednesday, the 15th, but never came to fruition because we had shit going on. So anyway, there's a rumor going around, according to The Athletic, that the Montreal Canadiens have at least listed 3 women being considered for the Montreal Canadiens general manager job.
That's interesting because that's something you don't hear about every day.
No, you don't hear about it. And I think it's going to become a trend in the next half decade is females taking in a position of power in the executive role to be general managers, presidents, or even in hockey operations or any other sports operation.
Well, here's a name I'll throw out there. Keep an eye on Cami Granato because she would definitely be someone I think that's one of the first that gets a nod if that happens.
And by some fucking coincidence, Cami Granato is actually a head scout for the Kraken.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets that chance.
Yep. And her brother, Don Granato, is the head coach of the Buffalo Sabres.
Yep. And then her other brother, Tony Granato, was involved in hockey for a lot of years.
For the Red Wings, yes. Yep. Tony Granato, Don Granato, Cami Granato. I think they had a dad that played in the NHL way before them. I don't really know too much about that, or it might have been a Team USA. I know there's a Granato on Team USA.
Yeah.
So,
well, I wanted to say I think Don was with Team USA for a while, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But I also know that Cami Granato was with USA Women's Hockey for a long time also.
Yeah, but she is being linked for the Montreal Canadiens job, which is funny you said that. So I don't really know who anybody else who would be linked to the job. And I'm sure Cami Granato would love to take that job as the general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. But the thing is they want someone who has veteranocity and can speak fluent French because they're not going to just hire anybody. They want someone who knows their shit and can speak fluent French.
Right. Which, of course, Montreal has lost coaches because of that before, because I remember one time, and this was like 10 years ago, where they brought in where they ended up bringing in a head coach and then they get rid of him at the end of the season because of the fact that he couldn't speak French.
I think it was Randy Cunningworth.
It was. Good spot.
Holy shit. It's Trevor.
Yes.
Well, what do you know?
Trevor!
Been a while.
Yeah,
hey, happy 21st birthday. I owe you a beer and a shot.
Hey, man. Yeah, come down and get me one, man. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Happy birthday, Trevor.
Well, look at it this way.
Thank you.
I drank for you last Saturday.
Well,
before I went to the casino, 5 beers deep and a shot of Maker's Mark to top it off.
Jesus. Well, you know what they say, liquor before beer, you're in the clear, but sounds like you drank beer before liquor, so you're never sicker.
Well, actually it was 4 beers, liquor, and a beer. So it worked out.
Beer, whiskey, a beer, liquor sandwich. Yep.
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 And I was not stumbling, so that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That's always a good thing. Yep, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, I was gonna say, so of course, Colts and the Patriots. I know you got some stuff you want to say about that.
Please tell
I'm
us.
gonna say that Mac Jones is an overrated little bitch that only throws 5-yard passes. So he might not throw any interceptions, but I think Darius Leonard can force a fumble, and Colts go into this game 2.5-point favorites, which I'm totally shocked by the way. It's a 7-6 team going up against a 9-4 team, and the Colts are the 2.5-point favorites. So I'm going to say, if I had a final score prediction, I'm going to say Colts 27, New England 24.
I want Indy to make the playoffs, but I just don't. I really want the Bills to make the playoffs as well, and I think they will. But I really want Indianapolis to take out the Chargers. I think
they'll take out Cincy. I'm not sure about the Chargers though.
No, Cincinnati, I definitely think is going to be out because you can only keep so many teams. So I think Cincinnati is going to be the one to be bound to go out first.
Right. Plus,
I can see that.
A tougher start too, and on top of it, I mean, Cincy has just been a little all over the place lately.
Yeah, I mean, they've been more focused on getting NFL Network anchors to their games than actually winning games, which I think is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting 4 weeks. I think it's going to get really interesting fast, but we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I wish nothing but the best for Indianapolis, and I do think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they're going to knock out the Chargers because the Chiefs are playing the Chargers right now as we speak. So
I don't know. It's definitely going to be tough because the Colts have the Patriots this Saturday. Then they have the Cardinals in Arizona on Christmas Day. They have the primetime game. And then they host the Raiders, and they travel to Urban Meyerless Jacksonville in week 18.
I want to talk about that. I actually did a lot of research on this Urban Meyer situation. In fact, I actually held out to my notes for 3 days because so much shit came out that I want to digest it and have a long discussion about this.
Yep,
and then
absolutely.
and I know Britt wants to have some comments about the Bills coming up. So I want to talk about Urban Meyer and then and go from there. What do you say? What do you guys say?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Right before we
hang on, guys. Hang on.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a tweet that I put out this morning?
Sure.
Hang on, I'm going to find it. But it really takes the cake on this one. I said, Urban Meyer in the last 15 years has played the role of a mentor towards an eventual killer, which was Aaron Hernandez in Florida, been blessed with a great Ohio State team, won 2 games with the Jags, and thought Tim Tebow could play tight end, #clown.
Nice.
God damn.
Yeah, and Aaron Hernandez eventually offed himself because he couldn't deal with living in prison. So
yeah, he killed 3 people. So yeah, I think
if you're take the easy way out.
Yeah, he's better off doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So right as we jump into Urban Meyer, if you guys want to call in, of course, the deal 929-205-6099 gets you on with Trevor Hauer from his Hauer Hour show. And then, of course, Urban Meyer.
All right. So
jump in and do it.
Okay. So where do I begin? I held on to these notes since Saturday, and I'm going to go by page by page of what I've discovered, and then we're going to go talk about what we're up to now. So we're going to begin with Saturday at 11:30 a.m., and it was reported by Tom Pelissero that there has been a tension between Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and in the past 2 weeks alone. So the first thing that came out was Marvin Jones became so angry with Meyer that he left the team facility. He only came back due to other staff members convincing him. He also had a heated argument with Meyer during a practice. During a staff meeting, Meyer told his staff that, quote, he's a winner and his assistant coaches are losers. He then followed to force every one of his assistants to not only explain when they're ever won anything, but also force them to defend their resumes. Meyer ordered James Robinson, the running back, to be benched after an opening drive fumble, despite running back coach Bernie Parmalee. Excuse me if I butchered your name.
Bernie Parmalee?
Brian Parmalee. Yeah, thank you, Trevor. So anyway, so he was trying to get Robinson into the game, and Robinson only came back in due to Trevor Lawrence questioning Urban Meyer about the decision. And then things would get really interesting and dicey. Okay, So this was on Saturday. This came out 15 minutes later. And it says, during a staff meeting, Meyer delivered a biting message that he's a winner and all of his coaches are losers, according to several people informed of the contents of the meeting, challenging each coach individually to explain why they've ever won or forced them to defend their resume, which I already explained. And then that alone is like pulling off Mike Babcock, because I know that happened a few years ago. And then where's the icing on the cake here? Then this came out just a few hours after before he got fired. Jonathan Jones, who is a beat reporter for the Jaguars, was told that Josh Lambo, the kicker, told NFL Stroud that Urban Meyer allegedly kicked him during an August warm-up during the preseason. And this is the quote he wrote. He said, "I'm in a lunge position, leg left forward, right leg back," Lambo said. Urban Meyer, while I'm in the stretch position, comes up to me and he says, "Hey, dipshit, make your fucking kicks," and kicks me in the leg. Lambo then spoke for the first time publicly about what he said after in an interview with the Tampa Bay Times. And then quote says, "It certainly wasn't as hard as he could have done it, but it certainly wasn't a love tap," Lambo said. "Truthfully, I'd register it as a 5 out of 10, which in the workplace, I don't care if it's football or not. The boss can't strike an employee, period. And for a second, I couldn't believe it actually happened. Pardon my vulgarity." And he said, "Don't you ever fucking kick me again." And his response was, "I'm the head ball coach. I'll kick you whenever the fuck I want."
Now, do we actually believe that, or did Josh Lambo just hate him? Because I think if something like that actually happened, then I think you would tell somebody right away.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like, put it like this, Trevor. For me, it's kind of like being a victim for sexual assault. You want to say it, but you get threatened about your career. You get threatened about your job. You get threatened with your family. So Urban Meyer may have pulled off that tactic on it. It's very possible, because remember that story a few years ago with Mike Babcock where he allegedly kicked Mitch Marner and a bunch of other players, and he went around saying why he didn't deserve to be on the team and like stuff like that. You remember all that shit?
Yeah, I remember him talking crap about Marner in the locker room with other players. I definitely remember that.
So, yeah, that's basically what's happening here with Urban Meyer. Only though, and I say allegedly because I don't fully know for a fact. And then 5 hours after that article came out from Josh Lambo with the Tampa Bay Times, he basically said, you know, this is basically what happened, but there's no video proof or evidence or something like that to back that up. But Urban Meyer, rightfully so, deserves to get fired, and he's gone. So now,
well, he was the worst. Yeah, he was the worst coach in NFL history, in my honest opinion. Urban Meyer was definitely an idiot.
Yep, and there's already names being thrown around for the head coaching job now that Meyer is gone. One of them is Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, New England Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniel, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich are all possibilities for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And Jim Caldwell, old Colts and Lions coach.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Well, I
Really?
can tell you this: McDaniel sucks as a head coach. We've already seen that, and of course, I mean, he absolutely, totally destroyed himself with the Broncos. So
That is no reason why I want to see the Colts manhandle and steamroll the piss out of the Patriots just to see the look on Josh McDickhead's face.
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, wasn't it before Frank Reich took the job that McDaniels was actually offered the position, and he decided, "Oh, I'm going to go back to the Patriots."
He actually verbally agreed over the phone that he was going to take the Colts job. He pulled a Bill Belichick and dipped out of there before he could coach a single game.
The only difference between Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick was Bill Belichick did it way differently. It was within 1 day after accepting the job because they had a press conference. Josh McDaniel never had a press conference. So immediately afterwards, Belichick grabs a paper napkin and says, "I resign as HC of the NYJ," and sent it right down to the ownership's desk and basically said, "I'm going to fuck off now. You can go hire someone else."
Yep, sounds about right. And McDaniels, I bet you Bobby Kraft slipped him a couple extra $1 million to stay there for no reason, because Kraft could not stand the fact that one of his little sons was going to be the head coach of the Colts. So he probably overpaid for him. And see how it's looking in the long run. Josh McDaniels is the product of a great football team and a great organization. He hasn't done a damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. As Ted DiBiase would say, the $1 million man. And Sean, you'll know this reference. Everybody has their price.
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Oh, hey, good news. Chiefs are beating the Chargers 7-0 at 5:18 in the left in the first.
You know what?
Good.
Good. I need the Chiefs to beat the Chargers so that way the Bills can slowly and comfortably get into the playoff spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Buffalo has the Panthers. I think that should be a good win or opportunity for the Bills because Cam Newton is back on the bench.
Well, Sam Darnold is back from IR.
Well, it doesn't matter because he's not very good anyway.
I think you have an opinion about this, Brent, about Sam Darnold. He might play Sunday.
Okay.
He blows.
Yeah. And just if anyone was wondering who scored for Kansas City, it was Martin up the middle for a 7-yard run.
She basically just said, "Who gives a shit?"
Oh, what? Indy needs to run the damn
Everything
ball.
sucks, though. Yeah, but I'm curious though. Let's go around the table. What do you think about Urban Meyer, Sean?
Okay, first off, I need to ask this. I need to say this. How in the world did we lose to these guys? To such a dysfunctional franchise? Holy crap.
Indy only beat him by 6, if that makes you feel better. They only beat him by 6.
That's not the point.
Exactly.
We lost to Urban Meyer. That's the point.
How? To this day, I still don't get it.
It's been like 5 weeks. Oh, that was a thing. Remember when I predicted when this all circulated at first, and I said to you, and you guys went around the table asking how many games would it take until Urban Meyer gets fired? I said 5. How many games are we at right now?
What I said.
13.
How
Yeah,
many games left?
yeah, I count because we did an episode about a month ago when this all came out. Trevor, just to give you a fresh idea, I counted 5 games where I would predict that Urban Meyer would get trampled out of Jacksonville, and that's excluding the Bills-Jaguars game because he was still coaching at that time. So if you count Indianapolis, New Orleans, New England, and Tampa, that's 5 games right there. And this is going off the Bills schedule, but the Jaguar schedule alone is 5 games within itself.
Yeah, they have like 4 games left, I think.
Yeah, I count, and this was in week 8 because the Bills had a bye week in week 7, and they played the Jaguars in week 8. So it didn't really help anybody at that point. But it's just insanity to think about what the Bills went through this year against Jacksonville, which was a shit show to begin with. And Josh Allen going on Monday Night Football, that was just the biggest mistake he did. And then on top of all that, losing to a coach with a substantial ego. And the argument is now becoming, and I actually saw this article, is did the Jaguars fire the wrong guy? And that is Urban Meyer. And the question is now becoming, is Trevor Lawrence responsible for the downfall of Urban Meyer?
Well, Lawrence flat out having a really, really rough rookie season. I wouldn't put it on a rookie quarterback. I think Urban Meyer he's just not an NFL coach. Like he rode the coattails of Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez in the University of Florida, rode the coattails of J.T. Barrett and Ezekiel Elliott in Ohio State, and to an NFL team, and he sucks. I think it's just Urban Meyer.
Yeah, I mean, look at the other guys that did the same thing. Nick Saban, Bobby Petrino. How'd that work out for them?
Steve Spurrier.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nick
oh my
Saban,
gosh, I freaking forgot about him.
Saban is
Coaches just can't make it to the
that.
next level.
What, Andy?
I said some really good college coaches just can't take it to the next level. They belong in college.
True.
Yeah,
Yep.
because what's really funny about all this is I was talking to my fiance about this probably within 10 minutes before we recorded, and that was almost an hour ago. And I was talking to her about this. She's like, how can Trevor Lawrence have such an ego already? I'm like, it's not about the team. It's about the player. And you could go into, high school or in college or in any professional form of like sports, and you can still have a sensational ego. Look at Johnny Manziel. Look at Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Look at Trevor Lawrence. All these people have substantial egos. And that's the big downfall of any professional sports franchise with a specific player. Jack Eichel had a big ego. Look at that guy. That guy had a substantial ego. Ego, to me, is the biggest killer of any career.
Look Look at Alex Bregman in the 2021 World Series. This pretty boy prima donna who couldn't hit shit in the World Series. Yeah, look at that. Look at Trevor Lawrence is kind of a little pretty boy too. Like if you touch him, he's gonna look at the referee and expect a flag. So I don't know.
I think Tom Brady at this point, so he ain't. You're
right.
No, I think Lawrence is just having a rough. You can't put all of this on a rookie quarterback. You just can't.
No, but
I got to throw it on the Jacksonville ownership because, I mean, Shad Khan doesn't want to spend crap to build his team. And then you look at the coaches he's brought in, Urban Meyer. Then you had, of course, you had Doug Marrone. Why on earth? Yeah. Do you remember? Why on earth would you bring those guys in?
Gus Bradley, when they had Chad Henne as their quarterback. Remember that?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, but you understand where I'm coming from as far as like the argument about ego, as far as like any organization. I mean, I'm already explaining myself about Urban Meyer. That dude had an ego, no questions asked. But Trevor Lawrence to me has a bigger ego. And I think between these two guys alone, they butted heads, but nobody really reported on it because there were some conflicts between the two. But it was never to the point where it's like, I hate this guy. It's like putting Val Kilmer in the same room with Marlon Brando on the set for Island of Dr. Moreau and having to beat the shit out of each other.
Right.
Why did you ever get rid of Jack Del Rio? That's my question.
What about Jack Del Rio?
Why did Jacksonville in 2007 ever get rid of him?
They shouldn't have. He was actually a good head coach for them, and he actually won quite a few games.
I actually like Jack Del Rio.
Yep, he was definitely a scapegoat because Byron Leftwich was their quarterback and David Garrard, and they were terrible.
And now look where they are. I mean, are we really that surprised about Jacksonville at this point?
No, I think the Urban Meyer is the best thing to happen to the team in the last 5 years.
I'm just surprised at the sort of fact that we lost to them. That's it.
Well, I look at it this way. I'm more pissed off that we let Jonathan Taylor run in 5 running touchdowns when.
Dude, that was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. That was great.
Yeah, of course you'd say that. Of course you'd say that.
Yeah. You only had 260 something yards or something of offense or something crazy.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, Trevor.
6 passing yards that day because all they did was give it to Taylor.
Well, that's what I'm saying is there's a difference between Jonathan Taylor and the Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts are actually a good team if you look at it in comparison to Jacksonville.
Good system there, and they're a team that you don't want to overlook.
Look, I'm not
coordinator in Matt Eberflus for one. Matt Eberflus pretty good defensive most of the time.
Well, for one, I can certainly tell you, I'm not as pissed about I was pissed when they lost to Indianapolis, but I wasn't as offended by it as I should be than I was against Jacksonville. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that makes it just unacceptable.
For real. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I would rather get the doors blown off of me like the Bills did with the Colts than lose a really close game against Jacksonville, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, and everything Indy's quietly built a good team. I mean, and they're definitely a team that can be very dangerous in the playoffs. I mean, I have to give them credit on that. So
they have all the potential in the world, but they just don't take that step forward to they can go 10-6, they can go 11-5, but I'm not sure if Frank Reich is the right guy to win the Super Bowl or if Chris Ballard is the right general manager for them to go and win the Super Bowl. They could go to the playoffs and they can make it to the divisional round, but they need to take that extra step, which they haven't done in a long time.
Right.
Look, Trevor, I love you, man, but if the Colts ever decide to fire Frank Reich for whatever reason and the Bills decide to part ways with Brian Dable, I would love for them to take Frank Reich as the OC at that point.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
The only reason why they would keep Reich is for the play calling alone, because he was the sole reason why they blew the game against the Ravens, blew the game against the Titans, blew the game against the Buccaneers. That was all Frank Reich. So I would not fire him and bring in Brian Dable, who's at the same level of play calling, if not worse than Frank Reich, because that wouldn't make any sense. Other than that, Reich is a great coach, but he needs to stop calling the plays.
I think Frank Reich would love to take the job in Buffalo if the offensive coordinator position is available, because I think chances are at this point, as we get closer to the end of the regular season and towards the playoffs, we don't even know what's going to happen at this point. But if we're coming down to that wire, I would think that if the Colts miss the playoffs for some reason, I definitely think they would fire Frank Reich and bring in someone who's a more conservative mindset coach, in my opinion.
No, Irsay would not fire Reich. He just extended him over the summer 2025. He's not going anywhere.
Well, so what? Look at Jacksonville. They brought in Urban Meyer and they gave him a 5-year extension, and he's
Yeah,
going
except Jacksonville's a freaking garbage dumpster.
So
Irsay,
honestly,
I just don't.
You what? I'm sorry.
I just don't see Irsay get rid of him. He's like Frank Reich is like Jim Irsay's buddy that he'll never just like leave aside. So I don't see him leaving.
Look, I hate to break it to you, but he used to do the same thing with Chuck Pagano, and I remember those days.
Well, Chuck Pagano, ferocious. Like I remember when they lost week 1 of 2017, and he didn't even know the team he lost to.
I remember that.
They lost to the Rams. That he credit the 49ers and Coach McVay.
Yeah, and they were playing the Rams that week.
Yeah, they got Scott Tolzien, the worst quarterback to ever play in the history of the NFL, got the start because Andrew Luck was hurt. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well, in-game update, Kansas City just nailed a field goal, so they're up 10-0 with 14:48 left in the second.
Solid start.
I don't care as long as Patrick Mahomes or Keenan Allen doesn't go over 20 points. Because I have a playoff game starting tonight, and right now I am losing by 4.12 points, and none of my starters are playing right now. And my opponent, who's my work buddy, has 2 guys going, Patrick Mahomes and Keenan Allen, and I need them both to underachieve tonight. But so far it's working. So I don't want to jump the ship and say, oh, it's official. You know, there's the whole week ahead of me.
Yeah, and actually another in-game update. Minnesota is still up 1-0 against the Sabres with 13:44 left in the second.
Can't say I'm shocked.
No. And yep, and as of now, it's still 2-0 Islanders heading with 40 seconds left in the second period at UBS Arena.
Did you guys see LaBitch James put on a the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Oh gosh, as if he needed to rub it in anymore.
First of all,
I am so sorry, Pittsburgh Penguins fans. I am so sorry for you.
It's disgusting because
Oh.
LeBron James threw out a couple at an Indiana Pacers game, and this woman who was talking crap to him is a first grade elementary school teacher. She stood up after he's gonna like do an inbound pass as the ball went out of bounds. She said that LeBron dates 17-year-olds. And he threw that at the feet. You soft little bitch.
For real, man. With his woke ass
or something. Come on.
Technically, you're not wrong on that. LeBron did date a 15-year-old girl when he was much, much older at that time.
Yeah, and LeBron got offended, so like he threw him out of their seats, like you little bitch.
Well, let me ask you this, Trevor. Do you understand why he was wearing that Penguins jersey?
No, because first of all, I can't fucking stand Pittsburgh. Second of all, I hate LeBron James. So that was the most cursed image I've ever seen.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. And it's the reason for that picture came out is because if you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins sale from Fenway Sports, I believe, it's a bunch of investors. And the Red Sox Sports Network, I believe, I forget what they're called. The Red Sox Sports Network is involved. So they own the rights to the Penguins now. A bunch of other investors. And one of those investors is LeBron.
Yeah, another reason to hate. Yep. So you got Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and LeBron James. 3 reasons right there to hate the Penguins.
Oh gosh.
He's a fucking communist douche, but whatever.
With his woke ass.
He's definitely a me woke motherfucker. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, hey, first of all, LeBron dating a 15-year-old. That's known as statutory.
Yeah, he's a minority.
Right.
Statutory. Yep. What it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns like 5% of the Penguins right now.
Oh gosh, no! If Michael Jordan had gone through that same thing when someone was talking crap to him, like obviously he did, all he did was shoot. He shot points and pointed them and laughed at their faces.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
what does
Utah in the NBA Finals that one year?
Right, but what does woke James do? He gets a ref, points to the couple that were talking crap about him, get him kicked out of the game.
I call him
You soft ass bum.
What part of what they said was not true? What part of that wasn't true?
The entire thing is true.
Exactly.
He's just butthurt that someone called him out on it.
Truth
Right?
hurts, some little bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually intend to call him
Soft woke ass bum.
I actually call him the Karen James.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Show up in Reno without a mask. It's like, oh, look, Karen James will throw you out.
Look,
Oh,
Karen.
you're too close to my basketball court. I need this person thrown out.
They
Oh,
go
this is that I dated a 15-year-old, which is entirely true, but I still need him thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy touched my vagina.
Did we
What the fuck was that?
did we score?
Was that an Ewok?
Why do you think I did that?
Was that a werewolf transformation or was that a fucking Ewok?
I think the Sabres scored. I think we scored a goal.
We did.
Right.
Oh, we did. Cool.
Nice.
Motherfucker.
Tied at 1.
Who scored?
Yay!
No, wait.
Sabres did.
No. Was it? I'm gonna guess. Was it Tage Thompson?
Dylan Cousins.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Man of the hour.
Yep.
There we
Go.
go.
Yep.
Tip
And-
shot.
Yep. And it's being said by Ian Rappaport that came out on Tuesday that the NFL has announced that Las Vegas will be the host of Super Bowl 58 in 2024.
That doesn't
That's a-
surprise me.
Oh, that is a
Shit, they're going to the.
Wait, what city?
Oh, man, they're going to
Las
Toronto.
Vegas.
No.
Oh,
This year Los Angeles, and then next year it's Arizona.
That is not
New stadiums,
above
they
the
gotta make
fucking
their money.
crossbar.
Yeah, we're gonna see more and more indoor dome stadiums in the future. We're gonna see it. The Bills are on track for one. Yeah,
Well, here's the
so-
interesting thing. So polling cars with Erie County basically told Buffalo to go pound sand, which that's like 98% of his voting base. But yet, when they had the public hearings over the last like week and a half, I mean, I like everything I've read about, like 95% in favor of a dome or retractable roof.
yeah. I
I'm
think
all
you have-
I'm all for it at this point.
They
Just-
saw the
just-
that Patriot game and they said, "Hell yes, you want a roof?" And of course they would now.
Yeah, I still can't believe
Retractable.
2 of 3 for for Matt Jones.
Dude, that is all he does from the ball. That's all he does. So the
Not
Colts are
back
pretty
to
good.
this again.
They have every
God.
reason to stop the Patriots on
Right.
the off Sunday. They're going to have to choke hard if they want to lose this game.
my gosh, like, I don't even want to make any excuses because,
They
but
they
then
fucked up
again,
those last 2 red zone plays. That's all that was. They had them and they fucking didn't take their chances with it. Boy,
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true. And then, of course, when we played this past week, how about that holding call that was never called? Stephon Diggs.
Are you talking about, or are you talking about the
Listen.
PI? No, the
listen. You can't totally blame this on the refs. Look, yes, they missed calls, but you know what? You had a chance to put the fucking Buccaneers away
Right.
towards the end of
And
the
we
game.
ultimately did.
You had every chance to go at 6. You settled for 3. You put the ball back into Brady's hands again. I knew once that took the field goal, like it's done. They're not going to beat Brady.
Right.
You can't give them that many chances to come after you. And when you
What-
can put them away, you put them away. And they did.
And the first half, and the first Bills were down 24-3. That shouldn't have been a
yeah,
position.
that killed them itself.
dude, at that point, I thought we were done when we were down that much.
Yeah.
Like,
You honestly
holy
wanna know
crap!
what I did the first half of the game? I slept because I had a little bit of a hangover. I didn't wake up until we were down by 3.
Yeah.
Whoever just spoke about saying don't put the ball back in Brady's hands, my rebuttal for you. Yes, the Bills came back. Yes, they should have known that they were playing Brady because they played him how many times before. It's not the fact that the refs missed the call. It's the fact that they missed that call, but called the same exact thing on the Bucks.
Yeah,
So
it's
not that call. It's the fact that they were blatantly favoring the Bucks.
Yeah.
it's called inconsistent officiating, and it's ruining the game of football and hockey.
Yeah. And we're seeing a lot more of it lately, too. But
Yo, have you seen the Instagram post where Bills Mafia donated a bunch of money to a freaking eye care place?
Yes, I wanted to talk
Yeah.
It was in,
Yeah.
It was like
Tom posted that.
Yeah, it was like $27,000 that the Bills gave away or something, or Bills Mafia
was-
donated.
it was in $17 increments too.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Whoa, gee, I wonder who that's about.
Yeah.
probably.
So here's what actually happened, and we'll end the show on this note today too. But basically, the Bills Mafia so far has, according to USA Today, they've donated more than $40,000 to a visually impaired charity here in the Buffalo area. So basically, what happened after the whole thing, they said they were not happy with the officiating, so they donated to a visually impaired community in honor of the quote blind NFL referees. And so what happened is the Visually Impaired Advancement is a nonprofit based here in Buffalo. And what happened is immediately after the game, they started getting donations in the amounts of $17, $14, and $31 a piece. So of course, that's how they did it. And they basically did the 31 in with combining Diggs and Allen together. So that's how.
Okay. I was gonna say I knew Allen Diggs. I'm like, who's 31?
Yeah. There is a 31. I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, oh, they scored 31 unanswered points. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. So basically what ended up happening is when the tweet actually went out, and I'll show this to you guys on the screen here, but here is the actual tweet that went out. So it said,
God,
it is saddening to witness somebody being unable to.
Oh God! Wait, hold on. Thank you, Bills Mafia. Hold on, wait, go back. Wait, here we go. Wait, I was reading the tweet. Tom, go back for a second.
Okay, well, it's still on there. I just blew this part up.
I know. I was reading the white part. Then I wanted to read that. So, wait, go back.
It's the same thing.
There we go. Thank you, Bills Mafia members, for donating $17. While we recognize that the NFL referees are not visually impaired, $17 makes an impact on VIA to help individuals who are visually impaired. If you'd like to donate to VIA, go to viawesternnewyork.org/donate. And then it says, it is saddening to witness someone being unable to see the blatant pass interference on Stephon Diggs. Hopefully this donation is a small step in the greater fight of fighting blindness and getting those visual impairments.
No, it's funny that they did it in the NFL ref's name. That's the funny part.
Yeah. What do you call it? You see the comic, and I know Sean posted this on his story, is the comic from the Buffalo News where it's the ref and the stripes on the jersey has stuff on like this. And like behind bars or something.
So, that's literally how it was.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple pictures of the refs with like the cane and the sunglasses with their German Shepherd dogs, like seeing eye dogs.
I'd rather watch that German Shepherd take a big shit on the field rather than having to watch the refs screw the Bills over.
Well, the Sabres dog already did that on the ice, so. As I remember, you were talking about that where Rick the Newfie ended up already doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So, I mean, it's funny, but it's cool at the same time.
Right. I mean, it's a good organization. So, I mean, hey, if you guys want to donate, by all means.
What team has the best fan base?
Bills Mafia.
The Colts.
Fuck you.
You never heard anything about
He's a Colts fan, Britt.
You never hear anything about Colts fans doing things like this.
Well, because we're not near Indiana, silly.
Indiana.
Yeah, we're near.
Uh-oh. So here's one last thing. Urban Meyer's daughter has now posted on Instagram about that firing. So
That family. Like,
so here it is. The
This ought to be good.
AKA the world, really doesn't want to see good people win. And you can argue whether my dad is, quote, a good person or not based on what you see in the media. Super reliable source of info, as we know. Anyone who truly knows us knows how incredible he is as a person. And the world hates any platform we have, so he's going to create chaos to destroy it. Little does he know he's making it stronger. It's not over. Keep watching.
In other words, my daddy is an asshole, but not entirely an asshole, but he's going to bring hell upon everybody else.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, God.
I mean, I get that he wants. I get that. I guess she's defending her dad. No, it's family. I get that. But come on, we even saw freaking photographic evidence of him just. Oh man.
Yeah.
Let alone
There's his daughter. It looks like Urban legends never die is what they put on the t-shirt.
Yeah, what do you call it? You know what's funny is the picture that went viral around November was Urban Meyer in his bar in Ohio during the Jaguars bye, where he was lap dancing on somebody and having, I guess you could say, cheating on his wife in public without even realizing it.
She was lap dancing. Urban Meyer, that would be hilarious, but I don't think he was lap dancing on anybody. His myth was.
I don't think any woman in any marriage would appreciate that. I'm just being honest.
No.
Well, apparently, I guess Urban Meyer got his daughter a job because she's doing premium data and analytics and covering the NFL for PFF.
Well, PFF. Okay. So I mean, the Urban Meyer or the Meyer family name is at least consistent because PFF is a complete joke.
Yep. So
yeah,
it is. But anyways, as I say before we wrap up, does anyone else have anything they want to throw in there?
I don't know. Britt, you want to say anything before we go?
I miss baseball. It's in a lockout right now.
Oh.
It'll find its way.
Oh, did you talk about our cursed charcuterie board?
The what?
Our cursed charcuterie board?
No, I don't think so. Oh, we have a really funny story. So can you bring it over? So we have a charcuterie board. A charcuterie board. Sorry. We have a charcuterie board. I'll show it to you guys real quick. This is a charcuterie board.
Yeah, it looks good.
We got yeah, it's actually really nice. We actually got this about a month ago. And we got this right before the Jacksonville game. And we've been catering up like pigs on a blanket and salami and shit like that. And all kinds of stuff. And it has a bunch of cool designs on it. And the most interesting aspect of why we're talking about this is it actually has a lot to do with the Bills. It's a curse. So put it this way. The first time we used it, they lost to Jacksonville. The second time we used it, they lost to Tampa Bay.
You just need to burn that thing at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
You must have bought 2 of those for the Indy game.
You know what? No, we actually had a pre-Canada meeting, so we actually missed that Colts game.
It was the superstition. We missed half the game, so they lost because we missed half the game.
Oh.
Well, look, I don't have anything against the Colts, so I hope they do well. But I'm just saying in general, though, that charcuterie board is a curse. It is
I think
try it on Sunday?
The main reason why I love that game is because everybody at my college was talking mad shit that entire week to me. And then I saw the way that game turned out, and I was like, oh, my God, who is laughing now?
Oh,
basically.
Oh, our last real-time update, 10-7, the Chargers just scored off of Justin Herbert's scramble to the left.
What's this?
Gosh.
What's the score now?
10-7, and there's 8:11 left in the half.
And the Chargers are up by 3.
No, Kansas City's up by 3.
Oh, okay. So Herbert scored.
Yeah. This one just Herbert scrambled to the left.
Oh, I'm playing against Mahomes.
Yeah,
they're playing right now. They're playing the Chargers.
We want them to win.
We need the Chiefs to win.
Ew.
Okay, Brittany has a weird feminine obsession with the Chiefs, but despite you heard that.
Yeah, but if it means we get in the playoffs, then we want them to win.
Jackson
No, but I hate the Chiefs. I hate Mahomes.
I hate Jackson Mahomes. I don't mind Patrick. I hate Jackson. I hate that
I
little.
didn't know he had a brother up until an hour ago.
Yeah, his brother got bought by some Kansas City bar. Did you see that?
No,
but I kind of want to see it now.
The only clip I saw of him was him dumping beer on a fan or something like that and just walking away.
I think that was when they lost to the Bills.
Oh wait, I have on TikTok I follow Josh Allen's girlfriend, and there's a video of the two of them, and in the comments someone put because her name is Brittany, so someone put Josh and Brittany is better than Patrick and Brittany as far as Mahomes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and Patrick Mahomes' wife Brittany has this ear raping voice, and it's just like, big.
Well,
it's really annoying.
Oh, so you're saying she sounds like Shrek?
I've never heard her speak. I think I've only seen her in like one picture.
I have to show you her. She is obnoxious. So, fucking A, man. Sean, I think you have something to say because you have like you're like covering your mouth.
I was coughing.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
when someone covers their mouth, it doesn't mean they want to talk.
I know that because I thought he was going to throw up on the fact that we brought up Jackson Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes.
I don't know much about Brittany.
Oh, man.
Jackson is a tool.
Right.
Well, Jackson's
Well,
a
I
prick.
heard, I don't know if it's his wife or girlfriend. I heard she's just as much as a
Tell us.
word that I don't know if I could say online.
Bitch.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we're on
can.
filter.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, say it. Let it all out.
Someone said it for me.
All right, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that she's as much like he is. So.
Oh, trust me, we've said a lot worse on here before.
Yeah, like watch this. Fuck, shit, fuck.
Yeah. Or how about the video that Luffy sent us before the show?
Oh no, I don't even know what that is, and I don't want to see it. I don't
actually
even want to
watched
see
it.
it. No, I am not watching it.
All I know is I was like, what was he smoking
Yeah, it
after I
is.
watched that one?
I don't know. I don't even know what they're talking
What
about.
video?
Watch
Oh,
his
God. Luffy
stand-
sent us like a insane video in the chat, and I was like, "What are you
Just
watching?"
scroll up. I don't even know what it is. What are you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
At first I thought it was a
boxing.
At first I thought it was a picture, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not playing that. Screw that.
No, I
No, it's not.
was like, "Oh my lord!"
I don't know what it is, but it sounds bad.
Yeah, I don't even know either.
Yeah,
It's-
you could definitely tell it's a Luffy endorsed video.
It's a Luffy thing, okay? I don't watch anything he sends me because I know half of the shit is just like, dude,
Oh my
why?
God.
He's a Leafs fan anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
And he's a Panther fan, and unfortunately they're playing the Bills on Sunday, and I wish he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna get
Eye on
shit
his
pumped.
coach, too.
Look, I'm not taking any chances. All right, I said the same thing with the Jaguars. I said the same thing with the Colts, and look what happened to us. So
Exactly.
no, I'm done. I'm done taking chances.
So now we're debating.
I will be satisfied when the game clock reaches 0 and we have more points than the Panthers. That's it.
That's the way it's got to be.
Yep, just play smart, and they'll be fine.
Yep. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Any last words from anybody? Any other thoughts? Any other things you want to talk about? Of course, next week we've got the Christmas show, so I know Trev, you're here with us, and then we've got the Sabres chick next week here joining us too. So I mean, we've got a few people coming in. Actually, we got one newbie coming into the show, so that's pretty cool. You know, we'll get to see her for the first time and have her as a guest.
Alright.
Last thing I want to say is I hope the Colts steamroll the New England Deflatriots and they kick the living piss out of Josh McDillhol's face.
Yeah, so that's basically where I stand at. So I'm good.
I know Andy had to take
Yeah.
off, so Andy, thanks for jumping on. Trev, nice seeing you, man. And when you're back up here, give me a shout. Let me know.
It's good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week for the Christmas.
All right, take care, man.
All right, take care of
Yes,
yourselves.
sir.
We'll see you next time.
next week.
Peace.
Buffalo After Dark is an HNH studio production and distributed by Horns and Hooves Entertainment.